So we are looking at GIS, that is Geographic Information System. GIS has data management. GIS is a science, combination of science, and GIS supports decision making. So we'll look at various aspects of GIS. What is it? GIS. There are various definitions because geography is involved, geographic and geospatial information. So you can view GIS as the information about places on the Earth's surface, or you can say the knowledge about what is where, when, and the geography or geographic or geospatial. They are termed synonymously. They are known synonymously. What is S in GIS? Is it a system, science, or study? Because geographic information systems, that means it is a technology. Geographic information science means it is a concept and a theory. And geographic information studies, we are talking about the societal context. So geographic information technology, GIT, in this geographic information, we have various technologies which either explicitly or implicitly help or integrated. We have GPS. We have the system of Earth orbiting satellites, which are providing precise location on the Earth's surface, positional accuracy, positional value, that is spatial value, latitude, longitude, coordinates, etc. Remote sensing is also a geometric or geographic information technology. It uses the satellite or aircraft to capture the information about the Earth's surface. And we have the images, digital Earth images as the product, which are map accurate digital photos. What about geographic information system, SY? These are software systems and they have the capability to input, store, manipulate, and then analyze, output, and display the spatial, geographically referenced data or information. The GPS and RS, they are source of input data to GSSI, that is Geographic Information System, and this GIS provides storing and manipulating of this GPS and RS data. In this GIS 3S, which will we do? Which we are interested in? This is system, as I said, this is technology for acquisition and management of spatial data, and the science, that is comprehending the underlying conceptual issues for representing the data and processes in space time, and the theory and concept behind the technology. Studies understanding the societal, legal, and ethical issues associated with the application of GIS, science, and systems. So these all, they are bundled together, they are mingled together. Let us define GIS. The father of GIS, Bob Tomlinson. So the common ground between information processing and many field using spatial analysis techniques, Burrow has to offer a powerful set of tools for collecting, storing, retrieving, transforming, and displaying spatial data from the real world. And NCGIA, a computerized database management system for the capture, storage, retrieval, analysis, and display of spatial data or locationally defined data. And Cohen said the decision support system involving the integration of spatially referenced data in a problem-solving environment. But we have certain more definition. A system of integrated computer-based tools from end-to-end processing, that is capturing, storage, retrieval, analysis, and display of data using the location on Earth's surface for interrelation in support of the operation management and decision making in science. We have set of integrated tools for spatial analysis. It also has the end-to-end processing of data. What it means is capturing, storing, retrieving, analysis, modification, and display, and using the explicit location on Earth's surface to relate the data. Also, it is aimed at decision support, ongoing operations, and scientific inquiry. Geographic information system, the intuitive description would be a map, in simplistic way, a map with a database behind it, a virtual representation of the real world and the infrastructure, a consistent as-built of the real world, natural and man-made, and which is queried to support certain ongoing operations, and which is summarized to support some certain strategic decision making and policy formulation, and analyzed to support the scientific inquiry. So how GIS differ from the related systems? First of all, it has DBMS, database management system. The typical management information system database contain implicit but not explicit location information. What DBMS has, you can place values in the columns and you can retrieve it like county, uh, city, zip, county, but you don't have geographical coordinate. Okay, automated mapping. Primarily two-dimensional display devices are there. So the thematic mapping like chloroped and many other, unable to relate different geographic layers like zip codes and counties. And what about automated cartography? The graphical design oriented it is, and the database ability is also limited in automated mapping. FM, that is facility management system, it does not have special analysis tools. What about CAD and CAM? How it differs from the GIS? CAD and CAM is computer aided design and drafting, computer aided machining. So primarily 3D graphic creation for engineering design and display, and it is not going to reference the geographic location because CAD sees the world in 3D cube, while the GIS see the world in the 3D sphere of a globe or Earth. So CAD and CAM is limited with respect to the database ability, especially for non-spatial data. And what about the scientific visualization system? You can have sophisticated multi-dimensional graphics, but database is not there, 2D spatial analysis tools are not there. So why we are studying the GIS? Why would we study GIS? Because 80% of the local government activities, they are estimated to be geographical based. Everything is geography. Whether it be plotting, zoning, public work, garbage collection, or land ownership valuation, public safety, fire and police. A significant portion of state government has a geographical component. For example, they want to manage the natural resource. They want to lay the highways and transportation. The businesses also use GIS for retail site selection, customer analysis, vehicle tracking, routing, the national resource exploration for petroleum, agriculture precision, the civil engineering and construction. All these would want GIS to be there. And also the battlefield management, the satellite imagery interpretation in military and defense, the scientific research for geography, geology, botany, and many other science, they require GIS. They employ GIS. So the major areas of this GIS application is local government, real estate and marketing and public safety and defense, natural resource exploration, extraction, transportation, and public health and epidemiology. The geospatial industry, these are the major areas of GIS application. These are the example of applied GIS, urban planning, management policy, environmental sciences, the political sciences, the civil engineering and utility, the business, the educational administration, real estate and healthcare. You see, everywhere we have the GIS which is applied. So what GIS application do? They manage, they analyze and they communicate. So it makes possible the automation of activity which involves the graphical data, spatial data. You can produce the map, you can calculate the area, distance and route length, minimum route length, best route length. You can measure the slope, the aspect, the view shed, and you can also plan the route, vehicle tracking, traffic management. It also allows for the integration of data, to different, which are belonging to different independent domains. For example, property maps and air photos. And you can also tie the maps, that is, to succinct the or add on to the communication of complex spatial patterns. And it provides answer to the spatial query. Just for example, how many elderly in some X live 10 minutes at rush hour of the ambulance service? This is a spatial query, and it performs this spatial modeling. It may give you scenarios for transportation planning, disaster planning, resource management, and utility design. So this is GIS system architecture and components. You input the data into the geographic database. You query the input from the geographic database, and from this geographic database, you can output or display or report, and you can also perform the transformation and analysis, and then you can output in the form of some report or maps, etc. So knowledge base of GIS comes from computer science. It involves management information system, geography of course, and then the application area. So these are the knowledge base of GIS, the convergence of the technological fields and traditional fields. You're combining computer science with geography. Okay, geos with CS, and then you have GIS. So the GIS data model, the purpose, this model allows the geographic features in the real world location to be digitally represented and stored in a database so that they can be abstractly represented in a map and can be worked with a manipulation to address some problem. So this is a real world location. These are the geometric or geographic features, and now we are presenting it in certain abstract way. This is a layer cake of information. All this hydrology, topography, land use, utility, soil, street, district parcels. You can have various layers, and these are the various related data layers that can represent the many geographic or geographies of the real world. So if you are interested in streets, you can find out the streets. These are the streets for you, and many other. So GIS model, the implementation is the geographic integration of the information. So data is organized in layers, and they are coverages or themes. They are synonyms, concepts, and each layer represent a common feature, right? So layers are integrated using certain explicit location on the Earth surface. So because geographic location is their organizing principle, because they are specially referenced, they follow some CRS, coordinate referencing scheme. So we have latitude, longitude of road, hydrology, and topography. So how we have these three layers or themes? Here we have three layers: roads, hydrology, and topography. Now they can be related because precise geographic coordinates are recorded at each theme. So now layers are comprised of two data types: spatial data, which describe their location, that means it answers where; then attributes, which specify what, how much, and when. And layers may be represented in two ways: in vector format as point and lines, or in raster images in the form of pixels. And the geographic data has four properties. Geographic data has projection, it has scale, it has accuracy, it has resolution. So projection, scale, accuracy, and resolution. The spatial and attribute data. Spatial data answers where, because it specifies the location. You may store it in a shapefile, geodatabase, or certain similar geographic file. The attribute, which is the data or descriptive data, that is what, how much, when. These are the specific characteristics at that location, natural or human created, and we store it in a table. So GIS system traditionally maintains spatial and attribute data separately, then join them for displays or analysis. Okay, that is a simple type of various joins which are available in the database. For example, in the famous and most widely used ArcGIS, the attributes of table is used to link a shapefile, spatial structure, and the database file table containing the attribute information in order to display the attribute data spatially on a map. So how to represent the data with raster and vector model? Raster model, the area is covered by a grid with equally spaced square cells, and attributes are recorded assigning each pixel value on the majority feature in the cell, such as land use type. And image data is a special case of raster data in which the attribute is a reflectance value, the DN values or the intensity value from the geomagnetic spectrum. And the cells in the image data, they are also called as pixels or picture elements. What about the vector model? The fundamental concept of vector GIS is that all geographic features in the real world can be represented either as point, line, or polygons. So point or dots like trees, poles, fire plugs, airports, cities; lines like streams, streets, and sewers; areas like land parcels, the cities, the counties, the forest, the rock type. So these representation depend on shape. We have the software. We refer to file containing vector data as shapefiles. So this is the concept of vector and raster. This is your real world. How to represent? We can rasterize each point. You can overlay a grid and just take the point and represent. See, for R, wherever there is R, this R will represent that you have a river here. What about trees? T will represent the T. House, H will represent H. So this is the raster representation of this real world. And the vector representation would be, it will be represented by a point. This will be a line, and the others will be area or certain points. We can have images, and you can make smart GIS data. These are images, they look good, but you can have a smart vector. You can have a polygon payments. Okay, you can have 5 feet grids. So you can make or display or present an intelligent data which is obtained from the which can be obtained from the various means, and which can be associated with your image to make it more accurate and usable. So the properties of spatial data is projection, scale, accuracy, and resolution. What is a projection? Projection is converting 3D to 2D. So the method by which a curved 3D surface of the Earth is represented by XY coordinates on a 2D flat map or screen. So distortion will be there. It is inevitable. What about the scale? The ratio of the distance on a map to the equivalent on the distance on the ground. It can be very high. So in this theory of GIS, which is scale independent, but in practice there is an implicit range of scales for data output in any project. Accuracy. How well does the database information match the real world? We can have a positional accuracy, consistency, completeness. Positional means how close are features in their real world location. Say one, this this is the image, we have a data here. Now actual, and say we have no location. Now this is somewhat at x distance. This is x plus 1 distance. So this plus 1 is the inaccuracy, positional inaccuracy. So consistency, do feature characteristics in the database match those in real world? For example, is a road in the database a road in the real world? Or rather it is any other line feature? What about the completeness? Are all real world instances of the feature present in the database? Are all roads included or some are left? What about the resolution, the size of the smallest feature which you can recognize? The raster data, it is the pixel size. So the tighter the specification, the higher the cost. You want best projection with minimum distortion, scale, accuracy, resolution. For that you need to give the higher cost. So let us take an example. See where various layers we have vector layers. These are the street network layer lines. These are the parcel layers, polygons. This is your raster image, which is also the digital ortho photograph layer. So digital ortho photos, this combines the visual properties of the photograph with the positional accuracy of the map, in a computer readable form. So you can find out the resolution, the accuracy, the projection scale. In this case, the projection is state pane north central Texas zone NAD, that is north. This NAD 83, and we have also NAD 27. So this is the data, North Atlantic datum, I guess. So we also have WGS 84 type. So resolution is 0.5 meter of this data. Accuracy is 1 meter. Scale is, you can see the bar. These are the overlay based on common geographic location. Now we combine these two and overlaid on this. This is how it is seen. So we can analyze now parcel with half mile buffer of park and center. So this is the buffer size. This is our center of the buffer. So now this is the data table. We can find out the exact location. So these are the anatomy of GIS database. Say a city. We have vector layers, which comprises of vector layers, the raster layers, the attribute layers. These are the content in the MDB, that is the database file. So now we'll talk about the software packages, GIS software packages. The main players, key players are Esri. That is, we have various ARC. They name as ArcGIS, ArcInfo, etc. MapInfo, the Intergraph, the Bentley system, MicroStation, Geographic, the Autodesk. So these two are pure GIS companies, while the others, they do other activities also. But Esri and MapInfo, pure GIS companies. What about the vector GIS and raster GIS? In vector, we have various players: small world systems, manifold, Maptitude, and raster we have ADAS, ERMapper, NV, PCI, Caris, Grass, Idrisi. The Esri product line, because Esri is the most popular among all. They have ArcReader, ArcGIS 9.8, ArcGIS Workstation, ArcGIS Engine. They have ArcGIS servers also. Online facilities is there. So we are now at ArcGIS 10. Right now while I'm speaking. So we have ArcGIS servers also, as I said, ArcGIS online services. And Esri ArcGIS system, they provide, there are various variety of, to view, to explore, to browse. There are various variety of systems they have provided. For 3D, they have different module. You can also connect it through internet. The future, actually we have reached to this future. The web server, or we can call it as a broker. We have services, that is web services, and these are the databases. So web services, and these are the browsers on web. You can use various browsers and application through web and through web servers and through services and databases. You can actually access the data in the distributed system like Dallas, Delhi, and Dublin. So this was a basic idea about the GIS and why GIS, what it contains, and the players. Thank you so much. Take care.